Hi there, Lloyd Machedo. Speaking to you from LloydMachedo.com. Who's Lloyd Machedo and Think Personal Branding? All right, in today's edition, I got few updates, not too many. Global news, I have news from Oman, Saudi, Qatar. I also have UAE-based news, just 2 or 3 headlines and a couple of links that I want to share with you. And yes, people who have written to me as usual. I always tell you the timestamp is put down below if you want to see different topics. And you want to speed up the video, YouTube gives you a option of making the video go fast. So let's quickly move in. The first thing that I want to share with you is this nice little unexpected letter from a very happy client that I received 9 hours ago. And it says, "Dear Loy, this is almost feeling like a dream. Guess what? I have signed the new offer letter, which doubled the salary what I used to get in my previous company, and it's all because of your help that teaches me from the past 1 year. I have taken your service for 1 year on personal branding, and the tricks and strategies which I learned step by step will going to help me to make more money for the next 10 years, no, without a doubt. I'll give you my thoughts after I finish reading the letter. Through this process, I've learned how to market and sell myself into a very competitive market, and your knowledge of any industry is vast because you lived and observed the Middle East very closely, especially Dubai, which makes you stand out. And that is why people are succeeding by taking your services. My message to those people out there who's looking for a job, please don't waste your time. Get in touch with Lloyd Machedo. Ta-da! Okay, because he's the best mentor coach who can guide you and earn more money, just like me. Regards." Okay, whatever his name is. Okay, first and foremost is, it's not just me who has done this magic. It is, it's like a coach and student relationship, or a coach and client, or coach and athlete, or whatever. So this is one of those rare cases where the guy really soaked in all the instructions that I gave him. He was very humble. He was, very reciprocative to the instructions that I gave him. Now, I also want to make a disclaimer that the goal is always the focus is always to get double the salary. But that doesn't mean that each and every person who takes up my coaching is going to get double or triple or 10 times the salary. Remember, like every other product, results may vary. And last but not the least, he's being very kind in saying that, I'm the best. I would like to believe that I'm the best, but there are coaches out there. The purpose of sharing this letter with you is to tell you that mentoring, that means coaching or guidance, does work. So if you have any coach, if you have anybody, it can be someone senior than you, someone who you look up to, someone who really genuinely cares about you and has the industry knowledge. Take them as your mentor and give yourself a target. That the target I have with my clients is normally 1 year, and make sure that you achieve results. I just am really appreciative that he sent me this letter, and more than anything else, I would say that it gives me immense satisfaction to know that we were able to achieve the results. So this is a letter from a client, and I requested the person, if the person was happy with my service, please give me the letter. And he did share, and I'm very happy. And just so that you know, we are planning to upgrade. He's planning to upgrade the service and take to the next level, which is these are premium clients. These are not the 1 hour coaching session clients. Okay, next one is, I got this from Facebook. He's saying he wanted to join my WhatsApp group, which I've stopped because there's too much of headache and unwanted posts that were there. I just have a core group. So he wanted to know whether he could join that group. I told him it's not there. So then he said, "Oh, that's great, Lloyd. I will follow you on YouTube," because I told him I have a YouTube channel. Some of your answers help me a lot in Toastmasters as well as real life. He's talking about Quora. If you type Lloyd Machedo Quora, I was part of Quora, where I give a lot of content for free. More than 6,000 question answers I've answered over there. And Toastmasters is a non-profit public speaking organization. So he's a part of it. So he felt my advice, suggestion, guidance helped him. So another nice little letter. Thank you very much. This was very flattering. Somebody sent me from some country, I don't want to mention. He is watching my video and he says, "I watch all your videos and it helps me grow Okay, thank you. Helps me know more about Dubai. And finally, I got this WhatsApp message. Somebody who sent me, lady who said that she has changed a lot. She's not my client. So I said, well, I'm very glad to see those changes, positive changes. And she said, your presence in my life has a bigger role, and I earned that. If I not take use of it, I'm fooling myself. So, well, I'm very honored. Well, don't worry. If you want to hear the bad stuff is coming in the end. So people don't only write good stuff, they write bad stuff as well. Now let's move on to the first headlines before I share with you the bad stuff, which I'm sure you don't want to know. This one is from Business Insider. It states that the global car demand for cars is going to decline by 3% in 2019. 38,000 jobs have been lost in the last 6 months. More jobs are going to be lost globally. And it seems even in UK, if you check through this article, it seems that UK's vehicle exports collapsed by 89%. The car decline has been 0.2% of gross domestic product. The world has, according to them, the world has already reached its peak in terms of buying cars. My personal view on this article is that there is a shift. Not in developing countries, in developed countries. In developed countries, a lot of people are losing their jobs, is undergoing a recession. So people don't want to spend money and put themselves in debt when they're buying a car. For those people who can afford a car, down payment cash, that's a different story. But most of the people who can afford vehicles, they prefer now not to put themselves in debt. So they're managing with whatever they have. In developing countries, on the other hand, the trend has started to borrow money and to buy new fancy cars. Well, whether it's India, Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines. So I would say that just give another 1 to 2 years. It's the people who put themselves into debt, they're going to regret it very much. The main problem is banks have, in developing countries, banks have a lot of money. They encourage people to borrow so that they can charge them interest, because money just lying down in the bank is useless. When people take it and they can make money on it, that is interest, that is where it's beneficial. So according to me, the Western population is going to cut down on demand. They're going to be left with many, many cars. And these cars, they're going to try to sell to developing countries at a discount. So you're going to have these, this sale, like, clearance sale or this sale or that sale or special packages or loan. You can get a loan easily, or you buy the car, you will get all these extras for free. Please don't fall for that. I would just say that cut down your expenses. If you have cash, down payment cash, that you can get full, that's okay. Otherwise, just do with whatever you have, that is well. Remember, cash in hand is more power. The next one is, this is an article by Wall Street Journal, which I think is also good. It seems retail sales in malls are declining, and malls are coming to the end of their lifeline. Once upon a time, it was like having the tallest buildings. That was a pride for a country, but they realized maintaining towers was a big, massive headache. I'm not talking September 9/11. I'm talking of, for example, if you see in the United States, why they have stopped building big towers, because maintaining them is very hard. The Chrysler building, most of the owners who purchase these tall buildings are selling them off. Then began the trend in the United States of shopping malls. And now you can see shopping malls are closing down, both in the United States as well as Canada. They are revealing this. The Middle East try to follow the trend, especially Dubai, by having all these big malls. Now you'll see the Middle East countries, malls will be, they've reached a saturation point and malls will be shutting down. And only the big malls, like for example in Dubai Mall is doing very well. You have Deira City Center doing well because it's right in the center of the city. However, if you check Burjuman, it's empty. If you check Al Ghurair, which was the first ever mega shopping mall, those days, Sindbad, the arcade games used to be there. People used to go visit. It was like a go-to place. Now it's dying. It's empty. Wafi is nearly dead. Okay, so these shopping malls are totally empty. it's not worth for people, for business houses to pay the premium rents, because customers, they're just coming there to enjoy the AC, to watch a movie, to eat food, but they're not going to buy those premium brands. The only people who are going to buy premium brands are tourists. And right now, tourists also are become very conscious of the amount of money that they spend, especially with the dawn of social media, especially with the dawn of Amazon.com. You have so many websites where you can compare the prices. Like I purchased the new iPhone XS Max. I compared the prices. I checked the reviews. Now, if you notice, I don't have my headset because it just unfortunately broke. So I use a Denon for quite some time. I'll show you. It is broken. Where is it broken? And this is it. I don't know how it broke. It just broke. You can just see that it broke. It served me pretty well. I like this. Such a nice pair. So this broke. So I could immediately purchase a Sennheiser. But then after checking the reviews online, I decided to purchase Bose because I have used Bose before. But then I found out Bose 700, the new series, is coming out by the end of the month. So the reason why I'm sharing all this information with you is to tell you that before the dawn of, let's say, YouTube or Facebook or the internet, we didn't know whether a product was good or bad. We would just see the ads of the company. Today, I can check the reviews on Amazon.com of a product. I can go to Alibaba. I can go to any other local websites. I can check reviews online. I can speak to people whom may be technology enthusiasts. And it was by sheer accident. I was thinking of actually going for the Bose Q35, the noise cancellation. And then, to my shock and surprise, just by luck, I found out that CNET, they have advertised that Bose 700 series is coming out. And this is good not only for listening to music, it's also good for picking up calls. And for me, interacting with my clients is much more important than just music or just doing the recording. And another, small surprise is, apart from that, I also found out that just for hardly $25 or $27, I can get a QC earplug earphones for my games and for listening music, and it's only $24. So where Bose is like $300, this one is hardly $24. So the reason why I'm sharing all this with you is to let you know that today it's very easy for us to compare and contrast the price. The consumer has become very, very smart to know what is he paying for. So that is where malls, if they do not offer you competitive prices, nobody's going to purchase it unless they are filthy rich. And how many people are rich? They are hardly, like, you could say 10% of the population. And even then, people are very conscious of the costing. Like if you go to, let's say you're going to travel, you'll check different websites based on traveling. You'll check the packages. You'll make sure that you get value for money. So, I'm not going in for the cheapest, but at the same time, I value the money that I'm spending. So in the same way, in shopping malls, what happens is, yes, you get a guaranteed crowd. Yes, you get people who come there to shop. But today, any consumer, any customer that comes in a shopping mall, he will see the product. He'll immediately take his smartphone. He will check the reviews. He'll check the pricing. And if the mall charges you more than what it charges outside, or you can get something cheaper online, well, they're not going to buy. So that is where malls are going to shut down one by one. You're going to see less and less of people go there. And only maybe the top malls are going to get people. The rest are just going to die out. And this is going to, affect the market dynamics, even in the Middle East. So I thought this article was pretty good. Next one is Oman is going to impose 100% tax on tobacco and alcohol starting next week. Energy drinks will also be charged 100% tax. So if you were paying, let's say, $2, now you're going to pay $4 and 50% on carbonated drinks. And now Oman has actually waited for 18 months. It waited just to see what would be the response. You had Saudi and UAE that moved on into charging what is a value-added tax from the 1st of January, I think. So Oman tried to resist, but finally Oman also caved in. Through this, they are going to get at least 100 million Omani riyal or $260 million annually. However, the downside to it is you're going to get people who are going to have less purchasing power, because let's say instead of buying one cigarette, before they could afford 2 cigarette packets, now they're only buying one. So yes, it does pinch into the person's savings. However, these products like tobacco, like alcohol, these are products that people don't give a damn. Even if you charge 3 times more, people would still spend because it's your temptation. So, well, I would just say that yes, Oman is going to get revenue, but at the same time, it's going to slowly start inflation. And expatriates are also going to think, why am I in this country? How much am I saving? And it'll affect other businesses personally. Let me know if you think I'm wrong. Next one is Saudi. Saudi, it seems, is cracking down on dissidents, on expatriates, on its citizens, anyone who speaks against the kingdom. Now, this link was sent to me by a lady. I will not give you her details. I will not even tell you from which country, but she's not staying in Saudi. She's a Saudi national. She is educated, very highly educated, and she's staying in the West. I can't, just to keep it confidential. So she took my personal branding services. She told me she is a Saudi national, and, she was speaking to me on camera. She didn't cover herself, nothing. And she follows Islam, but it's not like, being totally covered and, all that stuff. She's very modern. And she has her own relationships, which are not very much Islamic, as in hardcore, following Islam. She's not married. I don't want to give her much details. So what she told me is that she's afraid of launching a YouTube channel, of writing a blog, because if she writes about the reality of what is happening in Saudi, she's afraid that her life can be in danger, because it seems Saudi, they have their people or the cops, or they have some special forces, or they have someone or another who hunts and tracks these people down, and they are made to pay a price. So it can be harassment, it can be through Twitter, it can be threats, it can be phone calls, it can even be someone turning up on their doorstep. This has been, if you check YouTube or if you check the news, you'll see how people, really popular ones who are talking about Saudi, how they get attacked. So she sent me this link just to let me know that how scared she is. She wanted to build a brand. She wanted to inspire people, but at the same time, she's very afraid of her country. And I'm sharing this with you just to give you a dose of reality as to how Muslim countries, especially Arab countries, the challenges that some of the citizens face, where they cannot be honest and they cannot be open about either Islam or about their country. I'm not saying all the GCC countries, but, like for example, Saudi is an extreme case. So she sent me this and she shared with me her experience. The next one is Qatar is going to host the next 2 FIFA World Cups. By Jazeera.com. Read the article. Personally, what I feel is this article, Qatar is making a statement to let UAE and Saudi and the other countries that support UAE and Saudi, it's more like showing a middle finger, like, fuck you. It's like, I'm hosting the FIFA World Cup. You, with all your money and everything else, you're still not able to do this. So that shows the power that we have. If you actually check Donald Trump, when MBS, Mohammed bin Salman, met Donald Trump, that time, immediately after meeting, they had the handshake, and then Donald Trump showed that nice little poster with, photographs of tanks and aircrafts, like, as if a child, as if he's showing children ABCD picture book. So he said that these are the business that we have, the relationship that we have a long-standing relationship. And then immediately when he went to the lawn to speak, He said Qatar is supporting terrorists and terrorism, and Qatar should, stop that. And this is after MBS met him. And then the music totally changed when the Emir of Qatar came to visit Donald Trump. And then Donald Trump started to say that, they have a deep friendship, they have this amazing relationship, and primarily because United States base is in Qatar, So the point that I'm trying to say here is the animosity between Qatar versus UAE and Saudi is still very strong. Please do not get assumed, because some people are asking me, have they made peace with this conference? That's I think there was this conference with, I think Bahrain had it, or Saudi had it, and they invited Qatar. So they're not going to make friendship. Arab Muslims do not forget if you step on their tail, and the wounds between Saudi, Qatar versus Saudi UAE versus Qatar has gone a bit too deep. So this is Qatar's way of saying, we don't fucking need you. In fact, there's one video which is on YouTube, which I think you should see. What do Qatar people think about the blockade? Yes, they have cherry-picked whom they would like to speak. But I just personally feel, out of what I've spoken to people in Qatar, initially Qatar did suffer. It suffered quite a lot. But now they have taken sensible steps to ensure that every place where they needed Saudi, every place where they needed UAE, for raw materials, they have made an exceptionally reliable option. So they are not depending on anyone. So, smart move by Qatar. This next article is a rather lengthy one. I personally highly recommend that you read it. Okay. This was sent to me as an email stating that, Loy, if a common man had written this, or a common Emirati had written this article, he probably would have been jailed. It is only because Al-Habtoor, Khalaf Ahmed Al-Habtoor, who is he's a big guy, he is the owner of Al-Habtoor Group. Because he is such a powerful guy, he's related to all the local ruling families. Because of his power, he is able to write this article. This article focuses on his opinion about the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank, which I totally agree with him. What he says in this article is, for years, the International Monetary Fund has been trying to convince Gulf states, start introducing VAT, bring in, personal tax, bring in income tax, bring in luxury tax, bring all the taxes. And everyone, they like to kiss Western ass. Okay. So everyone except Kuwait and Oman, all of the GCC states, they followed suit. Saudi and UAE introduced VAT in January of 2018. And the result was inflation increased. Residents started feeling the pinch on their finances, and expatriates found these places very less appealing. Now the IMF, they are pressing these countries, okay, start income tax, start business tax, start real estate tax. Now, according to Habtoor, what he says is the IMF and World Bank just cannot be trusted because they are the puppets of United States. They are the explicit bitches, as you can call it, or the other instruments of United States. And what is the evidence for this? Egypt, in this article, it says Egypt took a 12 billion loan from the IMF because the IMF positioned themselves as, we are there to help you, we want you to succeed. So Egypt took a $12 billion loan to float its own currency. By the way, Pakistan has nearly done that now. And the currency value dropped 50%. It caused massive inflation. They were forced to make fuel and subsidy cuts. And many people ended up leaving Egypt, the citizens, and seeking employment elsewhere. So you had a massive brain drain. And Egypt is nearly destroyed because of the IMF and the rules. Now, other victims of IMF, Venezuela, Algeria, Sudan, and France. Okay. Now, what is happening if IMF is hurting these countries that actually trust, and especially the middle class? Now, IMF offered Egypt another loan, if you actually know, but they refused. Why did they refuse? Because the IMF is just simply sucking these countries dry. Now, what they tend to do is they target developing economies, especially resource rich. Keep in mind, resource rich. Venezuela has great resource. Algeria, Sudan, even France, and they also target countries that have problems with the United States. Why? Because they want to focus on ensuring that these countries are reduced to rubble, to nothing. So US can, just capitalize on them by causing mass unrest, which is happening in Venezuela, if you actually see. But the reason why Venezuela is not crashing is now because Russia and China are merging together to make sure Venezuela doesn't crash. In the same way, United States is also trying to corner China, especially by attacking Huawei. And, China is not a small power. It's very powerful. Russia joined in and said, fuck you to US. We will take Huawei's technology, 5G. We will ensure that we support Huawei. We will give contracts to Huawei. And China and China and Russia, just see how did they show the middle finger to United States by shaking hands. So when they had this D-Day celebration, which is just another, just to show people fake friendship, the same day, Russia and China shook hands and they announced this. So as for this article, it seems that, what IMF is trying to do is whatever the United States goals are, they are trying to achieve. Iraq is a good example. You see, US occupied Iraq to bring in democracy. Iraq was under Saddam Hussein, but they were doing pretty well. They were pretty strong. They were pretty stable under one ruler. The US propaganda, the US media kept showing Saddam Hussein as this evil guy. Saddam Hussein killed so many people. Saddam Hussein fed people to lions. Saddam Hussein is this dictator. But now, okay, if you like to believe that, here's my question. What has happened to Iraq after US took over? They sold this concept of freedom and democracy, but today, look where Iraq is. It's totally destroyed. It's totally dependent on aid. It's totally dependent on other countries, other companies. And let's look at what happened. America just totally destroyed Iraq, and all the contracts in Iraq were given to companies like Halliburton, Bechtel, and all the big companies. And these companies had government people who were in, part of the government. They had a very big hand and they made a lot of money. And the country suffered, people suffered, the middle class suffered. And now Iraq is more like the poorest of the poor, where Iraq was so powerful. See how they reduced it. So now countries are very careful. Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, Uruguay, Ecuador, Bolivia, Venezuela, all these countries, they tried in 2009 to create their own monetary fund like IMF, which was called Banco Sur. However, it didn't work out, but they are still trying. Now the Gulf countries are also pretty cautious because the IMF is going and knocking on their doors and saying, listen, we have a lot of money, we can take our money, we want your country to succeed. They're saying, I'm sorry, we saw what you did with Africa, we saw what you did with Greece, we saw what you did with Jordan, and now it's happening with Pakistan, so we don't need your money. We would rather take from the underworld, we would take from Russia, from China, not from IMF, not from the United States. So out of diplomacy, whenever Donald Trump comes, they shake hands, smiley, smiley, but they're not stupid and they're not going to make the same mistake again. So you tell me if I'm wrong, you tell me if what I said is wrong. And this is a brilliant article, a fantastic article by Haptur, and I really think you should read it. In fact, I'm planning to buy his autobiography. Let's see if I can get my hands on it. Next one is UAE-based news, a couple of them. One is Emirates Airlines chief. He says, describes Indian seats as the biggest single problem. Emirates Airlines President Tim Clark says he expects discussion between India and UAE to start to improve bilateral air traffic rights. Well, that's why they were kissing Modi's ass. You can't expect any other reason. That's why UAE is totally ignoring, oh, Muslims are being tortured in India. Well, we can't see that. Well, we'll just focus on Modi. Congratulations. We put your photograph on a building, on a billboard. I'm not saying Modi is a bad guy. I'm just telling you how the game of politics is played. For me, it doesn't matter whether Modi or Gandhi or Pandy or Sandy, whoever comes in power, because for me, I'm not in India. Well, on that note, I'll just tell you, this is just a personal thought. I've never seen Indians behaving so fucking hyper in my life, especially when the elections were going on. I mean, if you, in the beginning of the video, you've noticed that I stated that I shut down my WhatsApp groups. And I've also informed you that I've shut down my WhatsApp groups. The reason I did that is because I had 11 groups, and in most of the groups, they were Indians. However, during the elections, all the Indians, even the ones who were peaceful, even the ones who were like minding their own business, very decent, all of a sudden everyone started to talk about Modi versus Gandhi, and some people spoke bad about Modi, some people spoke good, some people were attacking Rahul Gandhi, they were fighting, calling each other bad words, they were threatening each other. I mean, my groups which were in order and people were well behaved, all of a sudden everyone became monsters. And I was like, what the fuck is this? So I watched it for 3 days, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Finally, I said, man, this is fucking crazy. If I have such crazy people who are so passionate about fucking politics to the extreme where they don't even use their logic, I don't need these groups. I shut down all these fucking groups. So the point I'm trying to tell you is politics, I mean, especially Indians, they take it so personally. In fact, I know one of my friends, not friends, I mean, he was a runner, marathon runner. I don't want to give his name. A very peaceful guy. He's in he's going to be late 50s. He practices yoga, cool, calm, composed. I've never heard him give a single bad word out of the, I think, 6, 7 years or 10 years that I knew him. Not one single bad word. But when the election started and someone spoke about Modi, the first response from his side, for a man who practices yoga, for a man who in his late 50s who has wife and children, his first response was, motherfucker, I will kill you. I'll kill you, come fight and this and that. And he was abusing another guy who just gave his opinion. Another CEO. He's like, what the fuck happened? So what I'm trying to tell you is, if you want to succeed in India, with Indians, politics is the only way forward, because it looks like politics is, in fact, I was shocked to experience that children, you're talking of 13-year-old, 13, 15, 16, children whose careers, who don't even know how to masturbate. I'm not even exaggerating. They don't even know how to masturbate. The very same kids who used to ask other kids in these groups, there's some youngsters, I got a pimple, near my pubic region. What do I do? Have I got AIDS? These kind of innocent kids who ask, like, how does a vagina look like? Or I went to Pornhub. Will God punish me? These kind of kids, okay? These kind of kids. The minute the election started, hey, fuck you, they're saying Modi will succeed, Rahul Gandhi will succeed. So I was like, fuck all this. I just shut it down. So I'm just telling you the mentality of the majority of Indians. And it is people who know the Indian mentality, know how to manipulate this. This is the same thing that Tim Clark and UAE is doing. Next one is, this was a news by Khaleej Times that says Abu Dhabi's Yas Mall reopens after a temporary evacuation. I received 3 messages from people who are based in Abu Dhabi. They said that there was a bomb scare. It seems that they suspected some Houthi rebels or something. They kept a mysterious package. They thought it was a bomb, but they didn't put this in the paper. So I don't know how far it's true. This is what people claim it to be. So when I'm not sure, I don't put it. And just talking about security and safety, some of my friends or people whom are friends with me online, they went for the marriage of the ruler's son, Sheikh Mohammed's son. I saw some of the photographs. I saw some of the videos. Unfucking believable. Unbelievable. They must have spent at least 500 million for that wedding. They bought in producers, directors, performers, effects artists from all over the globe. In fact, I even know of one of the ruler royal family wedding where they bought the production of Avatar. They bought them there. They have these concept weddings. They have custom-made plates, custom-made spoons, custom-made dishes, custom-made chefs, custom-made performers. I mean, every fucking thing. In fact, the giveaways some of them received was incredible. So, but just out of safety and security, I decided I was not going to mention any names, not share any photographs, videos, nothing. But I'll tell you, if you have any friend who has been there and he can privately show you the photographs, I was blown away, absolutely blown away. I mean, well, obviously, he is the ruler's son, so he can afford to do this. They had these public functions, and at the same time, they had private functions, which was not put in the papers. You should have seen both. I'll tell you, I was blown away by both. Both the public, if you thought the public is this level, the private ones, I don't want to get into it, but the private ones is like, you've never seen it. You need to see it to believe it. I'll just leave it at that. Okay. Anyway, next one. This is a YouTube video which I recommend. One which I told you is what do people think about the Qatar blockade. Another one is who really. So this was most of the news that I thought I'd share with you. Moving into what the readers have sent me. This is from people across the globe. This one was from India. He sent me a brochure of Expo 2020. He also works in the tourism department. He said UAE is aggressively marketing and asking their salespeople or the tourism people to, sell UAE as a tourist destination hub, which is good because, the country needs that. Strangely, I don't know from where, I started to get these fake emails stating that they have seen my resume, I am selected for a job, I need to fill in my name, the position, expected salary, updated CV, and they're giving names. However, one thing if you notice, even this one from Career Iceland UK, it's about a placement, I'm going to get a placement. However, how I know it's fake, it's very simple. The email address is at gmail.com. They have all these fancy names like Dr. Philip Harrison or, in fact, I even got a call stating that I've been selected, shortlisted for migration to Canada. Well, because it was a call, I couldn't, and the number was some +0 something. I wish I had remembered it because I told you I changed over to my new phone, so most of the numbers got wiped out. He claimed that I got selected, and I'm pretty smart about all this. I said, give it to me in writing, Machedo.com. I think because I told him send it to me in writing, everything, he realized he's talking to someone who's educated. So please be careful. A lot of fake jobs, a lot of these fake opportunities. I don't know how my email is now circulating with these fake jobs. But if someone gives you something that is too good to be true, whether it's migration, whether it's a job, and they ask you, fill in your details, give me your details, be careful, because if you give your date of birth, your passport details, your contact number, they can hack into your account and it can leave you vulnerable, or you can get scammed, or you can get conned. So please be careful. Remember, your passport details, your email address, your date of birth, your phone number. These are very confidential pieces of information. Even your Facebook link, just don't give it to anybody. Don't click on any fucking link. Please be careful. I hope you use your common sense. Next one is, I received this message from this lady. What she said is, hi Loy, I've been lately following some of your videos, interestingly, because 99% of what you say is correct. One point, however, which I need to elaborate is Arabs of other nationalities. In your videos, you mention Arabs as if they are all Emiratis. No, sir, I'm Lebanese. And many other Arabs like Syrian, Iraqis, Moroccans, Tunisians, Palestinians are not much different than Indians or Asians. Please differentiate. Many Syrians who are Arabs are struggling. Many Lebanese, Egyptians, Lebanese are living in disarray. Love your videos. Keep it up. Thank you very much. My respect to all of you. Yes, I'm sorry. I know I give very generic terms. The Arab locals that I'm talking is primarily Emiratis. Not all Emiratis, like I said. There are some really good Emirati friends that I have. My mentor was Emirati. I have some good friends who are Emirati, so it's not all. Like if I say India or Indians have a problem, so it doesn't mean all the Indians. So, it's just use your common sense on this. So let's move on to a couple of comments that I received on YouTube, and these are the last bits and these are the funny bits, or you could say these are the rude bits. PC Mangs 1975 says UAE Dubai has not collapsed, like you're saying, for the last 3 years. LOL, LOL. Okay. If you, like this gentleman who doesn't use his brains, if you actually pay attention, I've told you very clearly that in all my videos, UAE will always remain. Dubai will always remain. It'll be there, no matter what happens. And even Hiroshima and Nagasaki with atom bomb being exploded there, fat boy or big boy or whatever, it got destroyed. Still, Hiroshima and Nagasaki is still there. But the people are no longer there. The people suffered. The people died. So even when I talk about UAE Dubai, I always keep saying and I keep repeating that UAE and Dubai will remain. It'll never go. It's the middle class, it's the expatriates, it's the human beings who are there who are going to suffer. And this would not only impact the middle class, it'll impact the families, it'll impact the children. So idiots like this still don't seem to understand. They watch my videos for the last 3 years, but they don't use their brains when I say that. If I say that, the country is moving in recession, the country will remain. UAE is not going to disappear. Dubai is not going to disappear. It's the expatriates, the middle class. And my videos are focused on these people. Rich people, somehow, they always manage. However, it doesn't mean you're indispensable. So, like I told him, please next time, pay attention instead of having selective listening skills. The cognitive dissonance where you just cherry pick whatever you want to believe and you want to say whatever you want to say. So, out of maybe 100 words that I've said, you just took 3 words and said, see, you said fuck you, so you're a bad guy. You didn't see the context in which I said it, or why did I say it? So another idiot who has commented. Next one, Hamdan Khan writes to me, you seem to be an asshole. So I responded to him, let me give you an even worse insult, you seem to be a Muslim. So I know if you're a Muslim, you're going to feel like, don't insult religion, don't insult God. It's very simple. I didn't insult this guy. He wanted to get frisky with me. So he said, you seem to be an asshole. So I gave him what I felt was a good insult for him. If he had given me a compliment, I would have given him a compliment. So Hamid Khan, I hope he accepts my bad word to him. Okay. Next one, Ethio Times said, why this fool has a tattoo in his face? And instead of me responding, I had Tony JK, who very kindly said, why the fuck are you bothered to watch him then? A nice mirror can give you a better idea of what a fool looks like if you can afford one. Thank you very much, Tony. I really appreciate your support, my dear friend. Shaul Amit says, he doesn't feel ugly, put tattoo on his face. So, I don't feel ugly. So that's true. Okay, so Ethio Times is so worried about my face and the tattoo. All right, wait. Now, this one is a big one. This one is really, this is a response which I die to respond to. These are the comments which I die to respond to, and you need to hear this. Now, this one has come from a guy whose name, fake name, obviously, he calls himself Yoshida Karimaru. Yoshida. It sounds more like a karate chop. Yoshida Karimaru. So anyway, but it's not a Japanese or Chinese, Japanese. As if you read this, he has put quite a lot which I want to dissect and I want to answer. Okay. Before I do speak, I want to give you a very big disclaimer. I want you to know that I have a lot of friends who are Emiratis, that is citizens of UAE. I have a lot of friends who are there. I've been there for 40 years, as you know. And my mentor was Emirati. There are people who actually are in touch with me, who even donate to my channel, who are Emirati Arab local. So First and foremost is there's no hatred to Emirati locals. I think they're amazing. However, this being a video where people can bash each other up in terms of opinions, he has given me his opinion, which I think I must respond to. So it's going to be fun. So take it from the spirit of just as a debate. Okay. So this guy, he's Yoshida Karimaru, whose real name is not that. So this is what he says. First, he says, Loy, I am a Emirate local. Okay, instead of saying I'm an Emirati local, he says, Loy, I'm an Emirate local. And then he puts an actual in capital letters. Capital letters means to shout, I'm local. I'm local. So my response, since I want to respond to every sentence of his, since he says I am an Emirate local, my dear friend, it's my uneducated friend. It's not Emirate local. It's a Emirati local. So you're not an Emirate local. You're an Emirati local. And the second part, you're shouting, I'm local. So, here's something just to put in your small little pea brain. Globally, there is no such nationality as local. Okay? There's no such identification. I'm local. If you go to Germany or United States or Europe or anywhere in Europe or UK or India or Thailand, you go and say, I'm local. They'll say, you're local what? Local water buffalo? Local moron? What? So there's no such thing as local. This term is only familiar for people in UAE because they say, I'm local, And, shouting and screaming and saying, I'm local, it sounds more like saying, I'm camel. I'm a camel. So you're a camel, so what? If you just imagine, you go to someone, I'm a guy. So you're a guy. So, oh, I'm man. So, I'm Ahmed, Khalid, Gabula. So, so if you're a local, so what the fuck, is it a badge of achievement or something? So you shouting, I'm local is like someone shouting, I'm camel. I am a camel. Okay, so local maybe for you is big thing. For us, normal people, it's funny. And if you shout, I am local, guess what? I am international. So if you actually technically look at it, local is small. Like if you say, I work for a local company, I have a local product. But if you say, I work for an international company, I have international product. So imagine the difference. Local. It's like local, but international. So my dear friend, you're only local. Okay. So first thing is, remember, shouting and screaming that you're local is not a badge of honor. It's actually insult. Okay. That's number one. Second one, he says, I'm an actual local. Now, I don't know if there's something called actual local and inactual local. It's like, for example, if you say, I'm camel. So, and then you say, I'm an actual camel. So what is actual camel supposed to be? So you're an actual local. So what is it? It actually sounded to me like you're an endangered species. You're a species that is dying, the last of the Mohicans. Like it's like saying, I'm the last of the local chocals. And see, here's one more thing. If you are really a proud local, if you're really proud, instead of having this name, Yoshida Karimaru, okay, you would have had your real name. For example, it's like saying, I'm a proud local. I'm a proud local, okay? But my name is Lord Richardson Maximilian. Can you see the difference? It's like you're saying, I'm a proud Muslim, but my name is Richardson Donganary Iliam Joseph. Do you see the discrepancy? See, put your real name. Listen, my local chokal, put your real name. Maybe your real name is Khalid Abdullah Rasgullah Faluda Khalil bin Qaboos Al Hamoos bin Fatoush Al Shawarma bin Balushi bin Camel Kaka Al Viagra bin Gandu bin Camel Hairy Bolus bin Scrotum Rectum Al Vagina Al Asful Al Bustard Al Fakr bin Karchai. Well, even if that is your real name, put your real name. Why the fuck are you putting Yoshida Karimaru? It's like saying, I'm donkey, but my name is horse. I am a proud donkey, hee-haw, but my name is horse. It doesn't match. So you be Khalid, Abdullah, Rasgullah, Shawarma, Balushi, Hamoos, Caboose, anything. But be, even if you're Al-Bajaina, Al-Asol bin Bustard, Al-Fakr, Al-Karchai, even if you're that, just be you. Like, see, I'm Loy Machedo. Okay, many people say Loy Mosquito, Loy Mother Chod, Loy, but I'm proud of it. It's okay. So don't be ashamed of your name. Even if you're Muhammad Ali Al-Pali, or your Balushi, or your Rostamani, or your Falushi, anything. Just be yourself. Okay? So, next one. And then you say, as an actual local, so I know what I'm talking about. Okay. So, you are a local of a tiny, small city, which is not even a dot on a fucking world map. You're a citizen of that dot. If you see China, if you see the world map, because maybe you don't have that education or that understand. You see China is so big. You see Russia is so big. You see United States so big on the world map. You see Dubai, it's like, you have to see, where is Dubai? Okay, USA is here, Russia is here, China is here. Even India you can see, India is like, Dubai is like, where? It's like a small dot. And that also, Dubai is even a smaller dot. Okay. So I understand maybe you're feeling very insecure and small. Okay. So then you say, as a local, everything you say about UAE is not true. You're right. As a local, everything I say about UAE is not true, but most of the things are. Okay. So let's see what you have to say. So as per your letter, you're saying, without the UAE, you are nothing. Let me give you news flash. Without the UAE, you are nothing. Think again what I said, okay? Without the UAE, you local chokal, you are nothing. Think about it. For example, who would pay your biggest salary? Who would tolerate your nonsense? Who would give you money to come late to office? Who would give you money to pray 5 times a day? Hello, I have to go pray. Okay. Which country in the world would employ locals? Since you said you're local. Which country in the world would give you, most of the Emiratis, they want a 10,000 dirham salary after graduating from college. I can challenge you on this. Take it from me. You go to Europe, UK, US, Germany, even Thailand, even India, even Pakistan, even Bangladesh, you go anywhere in the world, not a single local would be even given a job in McDonald's. Forget that. They wouldn't be even given a job to jhadu. You know what is jhadu? Is to clean, sweeper. Why? Because you don't know how to even fucking sweep. The only thing you know is, I'm local. I am local. Fadal. The only thing I understand that some of you are good at is stamping. Give me Weber. Weber. Stamp. Okay. Weber. Stamp. And for that, I understand that you get 8,000 or 10,000 dirham salary. Okay. Understand this much. You're telling me without UAE, I'm nothing. The fact is, without UAE, you are nothing. Because nobody would give you a job. Nobody would give you a free bank loan. You wouldn't get a 4-wheel drive. You wouldn't get free housing, free electricity, free water, free hospital. You wouldn't get all these facilities which you're getting. So instead of telling me, without UAE, you're nothing. Without UAE, my friend, you are nothing. You have to put the sheikh's balls on your head and walk. You have to be grateful for them. You have to bend over for them because they are so generous. They are taking care of pieces of shit like you because you are useless. So instead of looking at you, hey, you are nothing without UAE, you are nothing. I'm challenging you this. If UAE doesn't exist, your local what? Your local nothing. Your local shokal. And Dubai or UAE is a dot compared to China, compared to USA. In fact, if you go to some countries, you go to even Thailand here, you say, I'm from UAE. UAE? You? What? People don't know UAE. But if you say I'm from Dubai, Dubai. Allah, you say, then they'll say, okay. You're from some Arab land. Okay. So the point I'm trying to tell you is, instead of looking at me and saying, without UAE, you are nothing. My challenge to you, without UAE, you are nothing. You're Emirati, local shokal, no? The only way you can identify yourself if you tell someone, I'm from camel country, camel. Or the only way an Emirati can be recognized if you tell them, I am from, where this big building, very big buildings. And they'll be like, huh? Then you just tell them, the world's biggest erection, huh? The big one. You're from Dubai. Okay, that big building is there, a finger pointing up. So that biggest erection is where people will recognize you. I'm not exaggerating. Tell me, what other thing is Dubai known for, apart from that erection? What? Shopping mall? Okay. Anything else? Nothing. Even Burj, what is that? Burj Al Arab. Now people even don't talk about that. So the only thing you're known for is a twing and shopping mall. Okay? So without UAE, you are nothing. Not me. Forget me. Okay. Next one is, without UAE, you will be nothing but one of the million South Indian men wishing to bust a hot load deep in some white expat through force, of course. Okay. Let me break it down. So without UAE, you are nothing, which I answered, but one of the million South Indian men. The million South Indian men which you're talking about, are you talking about Yusuf Ali, who is worth $4.3 billion in UAE, whom the UAE government gave a free gold card for life? Is that the South Indian men you're talking about? Are you talking about Azad Moopan, whom Gulf News, Khalij Times, all the papers advertise, hey, Indian men are staying here, we have given the visa for them to be here, free visa, don't go. Or is it B.R. Shetty, who's another South Indian man? Or is it Mohan Lal, that same South Indian man, who purchased a full fucking floor in that erection of yours, that Burj Khalifa? Are you talking of the same South Indian man? Yes. See, the thing is, this is a sad fact for you. 90% of all the business is owned by those South Indian men who you're talking about. And you're talking about wishing to bust a load, hot load, or come in some white ass. We don't need to put in white ass. We are putting it in your ass. Because without our South Indian men, where is UAE? What is the population of Emirati in UAE? Simple question. Simple question. How many Emirati there in UAE? In the full population of 9 million, how many Emirati there? Dot. As it is, UAE is a dot. Dubai is another dot of the dot. And in that dot, how many Emiratis are there? Hardly anything. In fact, your Emiratis are now going and fucking around with other nationalities. They are getting married to other nationalities. They are not marrying. Nobody wants to marry between Emirati. They want to marry Filipina, Russian, American. No, they don't want to. Okay, they marry all other nationalities. Why? Because Emiratis don't get along with Emiratis. That's a sad fact. So, you are talking about South Indians. Let me give you another fact. The number of educated, basic education in Kerala is at least 100 times or 500 times or 1,000 times more than Dubai. In fact, let me tell you this. The number of business people if you compare to South. Only Kerala. Forget South India. Forget South India is very huge. I'm just taking Kerala. Okay? The number of business people in South India is 1,000 times more than Dubai. Emirati. If you compare Emirati local, since you want to brag about that versus South Indian men, the amount of money that South Indian people have is much more than even your ruler. That much money South Indians have. And the amount of talent, the amount of discipline, the amount of experience, you can't compare. Your Emirati is just a tot. And one more thing, one last thing. You're talking of, oh, you're wishing to bust a hot load deep. My dear South Indians, they are more worried about money, career, taking care of family, their future, education. This bust load deep, this is all nonsense. This is immature talk. And this may be big thing for you. For UAE Emirati, they might feel white is so big, so great. If you actually look at the unemployment in the West, it's going everything from 5 to 18%, which is very, very high. So for Emiratis, for Arabs, they feel white is, very great. White. What white? If you actually travel, see, the problem is you're a small frog in a small well. So you think, you've seen the world. Go outside UAE. Go outside UAE. Go outside UAE anywhere and say, I'm local. They'll just give one slap and they shut the fuck up. Go shout, I'm local. Who the fuck? They'll say, you're local what? A jackass? And here's one more thing. When you travel, you'll see the number of white people who are unemployed. You'll see white people who are beggars on streets. You see white people who are working small jobs. It's not as glamorous as you think. The problem is because you have a small brain and you live in a small little piddly place where you think white is big. The reality, my friend, is white is not all that great. See, the sadder problem is you are fucking racist. It's true. You are fucking racist. That's why, the white load and all that. That's all, small brains. Your upbringing, your values is all fucked up. For you, you might feel white is great. If you travel, you'll come to know skin color doesn't matter. So you need a little bit of education. And more than that, you need to respect people, which you're not being taught, which is very clear with the way that you're read. Anyway, coming back. Next one, you say, everything you owe, everything you are, you owe to the UAE. Your value is based off the UAE brand. This is what you're saying. So everything I am, I owe to the UAE. Now, let me break it down for you. Let's imagine I was a beggar. Would you have said that? If I was a beggar, would you say, everything you are because of UAE? No, you would not associate you being a local. You would not associate a beggar to UAE. Let's say, example, I was jailed, or I was a drug addict, or I was a bad guy or a pedophile or a loser. Would you say, whatever you are is because of UAE? No, you'll be like, you'll distance yourself. No, we don't know this. We don't know this. We don't know this man. This failure, this drug addict, it's him. It's his actions. Why? Because everybody likes to associate themselves with good things and disassociate themselves with bad things. So now the reason why you're associating UAE with me, everything I am, is because I am more successful than you are. You know that I am much more popular, maybe much more richer, much more everything than you are. So for you, that is jealousy. You can't bear that. And that is why you're saying everything you are is because of UAE. Because if I was useless, a nothing, a nobody, you would have never associated. That is why even parents, even people, when someone is big and rich and, everything because of me. But if that same person was a pedophile or drug addict or a jail, they wouldn't say, he's a pedophile because of me. He's a drug addict. No, nobody would do that. So what you're trying to do is, you're trying to take the greatness or the achievements that I have and associate it to UAE. So let me give you a perspective. Now you're saying everything you are is because of UAE. Okay. So let's take the good and bad. So what is UAE? UAE is an Islamic country that follows Islam, that follows the values of Islam. I'm sure you'll agree with me on that. So if I go as per your sentence, everything you have said this, everything you are is because of UAE. I am a womanizer. I was a womanizer. So that should be because of UAE. And UAE is an Islamic country which follows Islam. So I'm a womanizer. Thanks to UAE, I had sex with prostitutes, which some of you know is because of UAE. I had sex with a couple of lady boys. So is that the values of UAE, the values of Islam? I masturbate. Is that because of UAE? And best part, I am an atheist. Is that because of the values of UAE? Is that because of UAE? Is that because it follows Islam? So you'll say, no, Lloyd, no, that prostitution, we don't endorse that. Atheism, we don't. So what are you trying to cherry pick only the good side? In fact, look at my face. I'm fucking tattooed. Is that because of UAE? Is that the values that Sheikh Mohammed is trying to say? Okay, prostitution, tattooing, atheism. Do you think that would be the values of UAE? That would be what, because of UAE, you said? So, think about what you said. You said everything you are. This is what I am. Womanizer, atheist, sexual pervert. All this is because of UAE? You need to eat your own words. Coming to the next one. You say, without the UAE brand, you would be nothing. Guess what? Right now, I'm not living in the UAE. I don't need the UAE. Nothing about UAE. So, how is my brand related to UAE? And one more thing. Today, I'm more successful, more richer, more happier without the UAE. I stay by myself. My brand is online. It's not even registered in UAE. So, what exactly is because of UAE? See, without the UAE, you would be nothing. Your mommy, daddy, brother, sister, camel, all would be nothing. So, it's your insecurities that you're sharing with me. Next one. You should have a picture of Sheikh Mohammed hanging on your wall to show your respect. Let me give you a news flash. This is Sheikh Mohammed's book, My Story. Okay? I've read it. I've read every page of this. And I've even underlined, if you actually see, I've even underlined the notes. Okay? And if you actually Google search, see, I've underlined the notes. If you actually Google search, I've put a book review of this. Book review and video review. I've read every line in this. Okay. This is one, My Story. Next one is, this is the book, My Vision by Sheikh Mohammed. Okay. And this book also, if you actually look, I've underlined and studied each and every word. Okay. So, I've literally gone through each and everything from his vision. See, you can see. Okay. So, I have both his books. I've read both his books. I put a YouTube video for both his books. I've written an article for both his books. And I highly recommend, for people, at least the first book. Tell me one thing what you have done. Have you put a video? Have you read the book? Have you read line by line? Have you written a blog about it? Just simply talking, Sheikh Mohammed, Sheikh Mohammed, Sheikh Mohammed. It's like saying to someone, I love you. And that's it. Actions speak louder than words, my friend. What have you done? What have you done? I have at least done this. You have done nothing. And because I admire the leadership of Sheikh Mohammed, because I look at him as a successful businessman, I study and I grasp each and every word of his. What have you done? Tell me one thing, what have you done? Okay, forget that. Here's another thing for you to think about. When do you normally put someone's photograph on the wall? Is when they're dead, at least in the Indian tradition. You put it up when they die, so you remember them. Why should I put Sheikh Mohammed's photograph on my wall when he's still alive? That's one more thing. And here's a bigger thing. If I put it up on my wall, it'll do what? Do you know what have I put on my wall? Can you see it? No. You can't see. So why this show business? Why to put? Remember this. If you really respect someone, it shows through your action, number one. And second one is, what matters more is what is inside, not what is external. So for you, I personally think you should put his photograph on his wall everywhere. In fact, here's a bigger thing for you. If you really were the follower of Sheikh Mohammed, if you really admired him, you would represent his values. This letter that you have written, this comment, shows nothing of the class, the vision, the behavior, the values of Sheikh Mohammed. Not one. Nowhere. I'm sure you'll agree with me. Coming to the next one. That without him, your life wouldn't exist the way they are. My dear friend, without Sheikh Mohammed, okay, life goes on. For you being a Dubai local shokal, you feel, oh, Sheikh Mohammed, Dubai, There is a world out there who doesn't know Sheikh Mohammed, who doesn't know Dubai, who doesn't know any fucking thing. And life goes on for those people. In fact, this morning I met so many people. Nobody knows Dubai exists. So you need to get your head out of your ass. That's the only way. So I don't blame you because you're a local shokal. Okay, next one. If you are born anywhere else in the world, including the West, if you're born anywhere else in the world, including the West, especially in India, you wouldn't be fit to unclog the toilets. Okay. Technically, I was born in India. So that's number one. So if I was born anywhere else, I was not born in UAE. I was born in India. First mistake that you made. Get your facts right. See, when you assume, it's like you speak from your ass. Okay. Second one. Being born in the West is much better than being born in UAE because you get citizenship and you get a lot of perks and benefits which you never get in UAE. So wake up. Next one is, wouldn't be fit to unclog the toilets. Here's my challenge to you. Without the UAE government, what job would a local shokal get? A local shokal wouldn't get any fucking job. Nobody would fucking employ you. Challenge to you. Get the fuck out of UAE if you can. See who will offer you a fucking job. You even to operate a sewage tank, you need to have skills which you don't fucking have. Okay, and you are talking of unclog the toilets after Eid. What the fuck is Eid? Is it a global event? It's only your fucking festival, man. It's only your celebration. Outside, nobody fucking gives a rat's ass about. It's like me saying, without Christmas, you would not be fit to unclog the toilets after Christmas. Who the fuck cares about Christmas? Only Christians do. You think Hindus do? You think Buddhists do? You think atheists do? See, the thing is, you feel your small little world is everything. After it, you would unclog the door. Who the fuck cares? Yeah. See, and here's another thing. Let's say, for example, you would go for an interview. Okay, I'm telling you how it will actually be. Okay, tell me something about yourself. You go. My name is Ahmed Khalid Al-Kharban bin Qaboos Al-Shawarma. My father ride camel. My mother ride my father. I have one sister from first cousin, second sister from second cousin, brother from third cousin, and one camel from, we have camel in the house. My experience, we driving four-wheel drive, drinking karak chai, wearing kandura, putting bukhur, smell nice, walking shopping mall, smoking shisha, drinking shawarma, and again having chai before sleeping. And yes, taking my father's visa card to buy, this thing. So then the interview will ask you, so what is your salary? Oh, my salary expected, nothing much. I just want a $10,000 salary. And then the interview will ask you, so what are you good at? I'm very good at stamping paper. Paper, I stamp, I know 1, 2, 3. I know smartphone chatting. And I know how to, hello, Faddal, shoe in the, Ahmed, how are you? I know how to talk on the phone, this thing. And yes, I also know how to pray. I pray 5 times. 5 times of his time, I pray and I go home on time. So this is my expertise. Okay. And experience, what is your experience? The guy would ask you. Experience, a lot of experience. I no job after college. No job. I get free money from Sheikh Mohammed, great Sheikh, give free money, free house, free electric, free water, free four-wheel drive, free visa card, everything free. So that's my experience. And last, the interview would ask, oh, so what is your future goal? Hopefully, our goal is to score against Qatar in football. We will score goal, Allah, goal. We will score goal. So that is our future goal, because right now Qatar put fuck our ass very badly in UAE. Qatar score goal, not left. It's not good. It is very bad. So that is future goal. That we score goal. So that is goal. Okay. Okay. And I'm local, so no need visa. Okay. Okay. So that would be how you normally go for an interview. So now the fact of the matter is, you can hope and wish just to get a fucking job only in the UAE. You'll never get it anywhere else. And you know what I'm saying is true. Okay, let's go back to your letter. So you say, so every time you want to be real and speak the truth about UAE, be sure to state that the stones you throw from your own glasses were built from the same house you throw rocks at. What the fuck are you talking? But anyway, to answer your question, you're saying, if you want to be real and speak the truth about UAE, be sure to speak about the stones of my own house. That means about India. If you Google search on YouTube, you'll see that I criticize India. I criticize Indians. I've criticized whether it is the government, whether it is rape, the rape culture, whether it's poverty, corruption. I've done that. Here's my challenge to you. Since you're saying be real, which I've done, I challenge you to be real. Number one is put your real fucking name, which you don't have the balls to do that, number one. Number two is, why don't you forget criticizing Sheikh Mohammed? He's a great leader. How about speaking about human rights abuse that UAE is known for? Google search, you'll find in Wikipedia. How about speaking about UAE's corporate racism? Everyone knows that. You know that. I know that. How about speaking about, okay, forget all that. Prostitution, which is going on. Go to Dera. Go to Dubai. You'll see the prostitution. How about speaking about that? How about speaking about the black money? Here's some topics that I gave you. How about you speaking about it? I spoke about the drawbacks about India. I spoke about all the corruption, the rape culture, about the politics. Google search Loy Machedo, India criticism. I challenge you. You do that. I can assure you, you will not survive. You will not. So, you talking about me being real? Forget all this. You're talking about me being real and speak. Have the fucking balls to put your fucking name instead of some Yoshida Kamaru and acting like a big fucking keyboard warrior. Next one. Without the UAE, there's no Loy Machedo. Right now, I'm without the UAE. I'm still Loy Machedo. I'm still there. Oh, hello. Okay. India would have never produced Loy Machedo, the brand that you make the money today. Let me give you a wake-up call, my ignorant friend. India would have never produced Loy Machedo. Okay. India has produced Mukesh Ambani, Sachin Tendulkar, Mary Kom, Shah Rukh Khan, A.R. Rahman. Do you know who they are? In fact, the richest people in the world, Mukesh Ambani, 47.3 billion. Aziz Premji, 21 billion. These are all dollars, huh? Lakshmi Mittal, 18.3 billion. Hinduja Brothers, 18 billion. Paloni Misri, 15.7 billion. Shiv Nadir, $14.6 billion. Godrej family, $14 billion. Dilip Sanghvi, $12.6 billion. Okay, so I've given you the richest, how many? Top 8 in the world. Billions. 43 billion, 21 billion, 18 billion. Can you tell me where is local chocal in this? Okay. Singers. How many singers? Indian, Lata Mangeshkar, Asha Bhosle, all these famous singers were there. Where are the singers? Bollywood. I've heard of Bollywood. I've never heard of UAE Hood, Dubai Hood. There's no fucking movies coming from there. There's no agriculture. India has massive agriculture. There's no fucking industries. India has fucking industries. The GDP of India versus the dot of Dubai? Can you compare that? Can you compare the fucking military? The fucking military of India, which is so fucking huge, versus the dot of UAE? In fact, globally, let's look at globally. Satya Nadella is the CEO of a $78 billion company, Microsoft. Indra Nooyi, Indian again, who is the main person for PepsiCo, 66 billion. Anshu Jain, CEO of Deutsche Bank, 43 billion. Ivan Menezes, Diageo, 18 billion. Rakesh Kapoor, Ricket Bensk is 16 billion. Ajit Jain, Berkshire Hathaway, 10 billion. Ajay Banga, MasterCard, 7 billion. Piyush Gupta, DBS Group Holding, 6 billion. Sanjay Malhotra, ScanDisk, 5 billion. Sanjay Jha, Global Foundry, 6 billion. I've given you 10 Indians who run global companies. My challenge to you, give me 10 Arab locals who are running global fucking companies. Arab locals, Emirati, local shokal, show me. Okay, forget CEO. Show me director level, not Emirati local for Emirati company. Emar, Nakil is all UAE company. Show me Pepsi, Coca-Cola. Show me Citibank globally. Any company you can think of? Even one local? Not even one. Okay, next one. Only in UAE, someone like you can be creative. Only in UAE, atheist like me, womanizer, fully tattooed guy. So you're trying to insult the UAE or praise the UAE? Please explain to me. Are you trying to insult the UAE? UAE's values is as per Islam. So only in UAE they can create someone like me, atheist, tattooed guy. Only in UAE you should someone like you should be created, so you should be grateful. Then the ending, what you say is, on a side note, if you ever travel or go through UAE, there's a special ordered crane to lift an 18-ton sized dildo right in your rectum with a wrecking ball, and I'll be the first one to volunteer to take a swing. First things first. If I ever travel to UAE, which you said, I wouldn't. Why? Because I don't see any reason. I don't see anything great about UAE. I don't want to travel. And given the fact that UAE has a very small tolerance for any criticism, I'm not stupid. That's number one. Second thing is, you have ordered a crane. That means I'm so special. So you have ordered a crane just for me. If you are coming, nobody would fucking order a small piece of, shit. Because you're worthless. Who would want to spend money? So you're spending money on me. And you're talking of a dildo size. Here's my question to you. Why do you know about dildos? You're a guy. What is the purpose of having knowledge about dildos? Means you have used a dildo for some reason. So that shows something about you. Guy using dildos, and you know the sizes. I don't know anything about dildos. I've seen dildo on the internet, never used it, but since you know the sizes, I guess you must be using. And here's the best one. Here's the climax of the whole thing. I would be the first to volunteer to take a swing, that is in the rectum. Normally, being a guy, I would never tell a guy, I'll be the first one to fuck your ass. Do you know what that makes you when you tell someone, I'll be the first one to volunteer to put a dildo or to put my thing up someone's bum? So I guess you must be, Ahmed Al-Khalil. My name is Muhammad. So could be, see, I have nothing against being toy. However, it's not very manly to tell someone, I'll be the first one to fuck your ass. Very gone me. In your bum, I'll put my ting. I normally don't go around telling people that because it looks pretty stupid. However, as a conclusion, you started this whole conversation by saying, I'm Emirati, I'm local, and you should be proud of Sheikh Mohammed. Okay? This same Sheikh Mohammed. Okay. Just imagine how proud Sheikh Mohammed would be to read your letter. I know why you have not put your name. You have not put your name because nothing you have stated here represents the values of an Emirati, represents the values of a Muslim, represents the values of a UAE citizen. It doesn't represent Sheikh Mohammed. It doesn't represent his views. It doesn't represent the greatness that Emiratis have. That is why you have kept your name hidden. In fact, let me ask you a simple thing. Why are you focused on me, man? Instead of being focused on me, instead of trying to, criticize and defend, you should be focused on you. This is the major problem with Emiratis. They are not focusing on what they can do for themselves, what value they can create. Instead, they're busy focusing on, oh, how much salary getting, why he getting, I want more. Okay, why he like this, why he like that, why he... That's the fucking problem. You're not focusing on yourself. And last, if not the least, if you are really an Emirati local, really an Emirati local, like you said, of UAE, you'd show greatness, like Sheikh Mohammed shows. My mentor is Emirati local. He doesn't give a fuck who writes what, who says what. You can criticize Islam, he doesn't give a fuck. He's busy focusing on his work, on his brand. That's the same thing Sheikh Mohammed is doing. He's focusing on his country, he's focusing on his citizens. However, it is sad to see people like you who call themselves Emirati locals and don't fucking represent the true spirit. Because I'll tell you this much, UAE is a great country. However, its greatness now has halted because of citizens like you. The people who call themselves, I'm Emirati local, shokal. All you have is hot air, but nothing to follow. No actions. You only have words. And that is the only reason why you don't have a single CEO Emirati of a global company. You don't have a single great person from UAE anywhere in the world, apart from Sheikh Mohammed and, MBZ. Apart from that, Mohammed bin Zayed and Sheikh Mohammed, and yes, hopefully his son. Majority of the locals. I'm sure there are many other Emirati locals who are in positions, but globally, no. So I hope this answers your question. Yoshida Karimaru. And I've answered it. And I'll tell you something. I've given you a response you'll never ever fucking forget in your life. I leave it open to you. And see, have a little class. I'll tell you this much. Have a little class. Because saying, dump the load on your mother, dump the load on, doesn't show that your upbringing, your values, your religion, or that you represent the ruler. It's not classy, my friend. These are some educational points this tattooed guy is giving. Even though I'm an atheist, looks like I have more values than you yourself. So this is what I have to say. Let me know what you think. I would love to hear your views. And I know truth hurts. Finally, I just want to share with you this message. I kind of changed my Facebook and put a photograph of my wife and my baby. It was a beautiful photograph. Ever since I changed that photograph, I've been getting a lot of these guys who are sending me messages thinking it's a girl's profile. And one of them, this guy, his name is Motu Patlu. When you click, when I checked his profile, he has sent me another friend's request from his real Facebook account, which is Shahid Ali. Okay, and when I clicked on Shahid Ali, there is his real account, which is another different name. So this guy sent me the message. Okay, he has sent me this message. Hi, how are you? Thinking that it was my wife, thinking that was the real account. So I didn't know he was assuming that. So I said, yes, please, how may I help you? The first thing he said, I love you. I will relationship for you. I have salary of 15,000 dirhams. So you can see what type of characters we get online who, when they see a girl, this is how they behave. So I just thought I'd share this with you and let you know that these are the types of individuals, these are the type of people, and this is what happens. So anyway, live from Machedo.com, who's Live Machedo and Think Personal Branding. This is another edition that I thought to share with you. Let me know your thoughts. I don't censor your comments. This has been saying goodbye for now. Alright guys, take care.